Welcome to Real Estate Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters, sharing proven strategies to help you build a better business today. And here is your host, Keith Doherty.
Hello and welcome to this episode of our show. This is your host, Keith Doherty. Today, our special guest is top real estate agent Lori Hicks of Hicks Elite Realty Professionals based out of Columbus, Ohio. Lori and her dynamic and creative team of experienced professionals at Hicks Elite Realty Professionals are committed to meeting their clients' real estate needs. They pride themselves on the strength of their team, and as proud advocates for the area, their agents are experts in finding not only the right home, but the right community for their clients as well. Lori's designations include being a certified BPO, broker price opinion provider, military relocation professional, MRP, NAR and SFR certification, which is short sale and foreclosure resource, and accredited staging professionals, ASP, among others. Her various awards include Zillow Premier Agent Award, 10 Best Client Satisfaction Awards from American Institute of Real Estate Professionals, $5 million Club Award, $10 million Club Award, $25 million Club Award, BIA name awardee for 5 consecutive years, just to name a few. All right, with all that said, Lori, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
I guess, Lori, if we could start for our listeners, what led you into real estate? Was it something that you always knew that you wanted to do, or did you maybe stumble into it?
I always knew that that was something I wanted to do. Anytime in the past that I worked with agents or built a house, they always told me I should be in real estate. When my kids were younger, it was really not an option. But once they grew up and I had the opportunity to get into it, I took that opportunity, and I've done pretty well since then.
Excellent. And can you talk a little about some of the personal attributes or traits or qualities that you think have most contributed to your success, and then talk a little bit about how you developed those?
Well, first and foremost, I think it's customer service. So before I was in real estate, I didn't like that realtors took time to get back with you and then they were busy. So I understand that perspective for a buyer or seller. You know, they want immediate, they want answers, they want to know when there's a showing on their house, they want to know when there's feedback, buyers want to know when listings come on the market, they want someone that's available to show that to them. So I keep very mindful of that, and I'm always working. My phone is never away from me, and unless I'm with a client, I answer my phone and I call people back. So just my background with customer service, I think, helps a lot.
Excellent. And do you think maybe you could give us another example of when your traits have played a role in your path toward success?
Well, for instance, in this market right now where inventory comes on the market, 3 hours later it's in contract, I have to be available. I have to, guide my sellers when they get offers in. Should we do a multiple offer situation? Should we take what we have? What's the best option in that situation? Who's the best buyer? We just have to look at the full picture. For buyers, it's just getting them out there and writing the strongest offer. So, if you work with an agent that only sells 3 houses a year versus an agent that sells several hundred a year, I know what's going on in the market, and I can advise them properly.
Excellent. And I'm sure that in your entire time in real estate, and especially with all the success you've had, I'm sure it hasn't been all perfect, like the simple, easy road to everything. So could you talk a little bit about some of the major adversities and trials that you've had to overcome in order to achieve the success that you've had?
Well, I think for me, it's actually, I know a lot of people in real estate really just took off for me. So it's really time management. That is why I have a team, so that if I am busy, then I have another agent that can fill in, and we can get people in and out of properties as needed. There hasn't been a lot of down for me, so jumped in it, and it just kind of took off. Even in a down market, I just jumped in and started with bank owns, and now the market's shifted, and we just keep going.
Excellent. And I guess when you do hit some kind of obstacle along the way, what keeps you going? What's your driving force? Why don't you give up on things?
I've never been a quitter, so I like the challenge. When you get that result that you want at the end, then it just makes you feel good for everybody. If it's something that my buyer or seller wants, I fight for them to get what they want. At some point, there's sometimes where it doesn't work out, but for the most part, if we just figure out what's going on the other side and try and work through it, then usually there's a good outcome.
Excellent. And I guess kind of looking forward, what do you feel is the best way you market yourself as a real estate professional for continual growth?
One of the first places that when I started with real estate, Facebook was something that was very new. So I started there, and I just have a large following there. We also do Zillow, Twilio, Realtor.com. We put advertising there so people find me. One of the best compliments I get are from my past clients who do reviews for me on there, and I get a lot from people reading through those. So just continued marketing with happy customers, and then other people, word of mouth.
Great. And I think sometimes that when it comes to real estate, especially when it comes to working with agents, there's sometimes misconceptions that people have. So what do you think the biggest misconception or myth people have about working with a real estate agent is?
I think for buyers, they think there's a fee to work with an agent, and the sellers pay the cost of the buyer's representation, so there's no fee there. So there's no reason for them not to have somebody on their side looking out for them, knowing what the market's like, and helping them with, through the process.
Excellent. And I guess this is we like to kind of give this situation. Let's say you get a call from a family member or friend in another state, and they want to sell their home. What advice would you give them on how to go about selecting an agent that could best serve their needs?
I think they need to look for an agent who communicates first and foremost. If they're not going to communicate with them, they're not going to communicate with future buyers or real estate agents. Someone who has the experience, that knows how to get through this market, and listen to them. Find someone who knows how to price your house, who knows how to direct you to get it staged properly, get it set up. It's price, condition, and location. So if you can find an agent that can help you with that and has the communication, read the reviews online and see what people have said about them. Make sure you have an agent that people have been happy with.
Excellent. And if somebody's looking for an agent, specifically obviously in the Columbus, Ohio area where you're based out of, what's the best way they can find out more about you and how you can help them?
Go directly to my website, www.lori-hicks.com.
Excellent. Well, Lori, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come here and share your real estate business experience with all of our listeners. And if you guys want to learn more about Lori and how she can help, you can visit her site, like she said, lori-hicks.com. We'll also have a link below this interview, along with any other contact information that we have for Lori. So until our next show, everybody, have a great day, and we'll talk to you all soon.
Thanks for listening to Real Estate Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading real estate industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at realestateinnovatorsradio.com today.